This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
We are following developing news at a St. Louis high school. 4 students taken to the hospital after ingesting some type of gummy. School officials say the gummies could contain marijuana. A total of 10 students complain of having nausea. Those students were taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons. 6 others were taken home by their parents. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The school says they believe one student snuck those gummies into the school. All students are doing okay now, but officials are still looking into what happened.
We will continue to follow this developing story on air and online. Our Robert Townsend will have more for us tonight on 5 on your side at 10.
Right now, police are still looking for a man who shot a Metro East police officer. Last night, officers responded to a home on Delmar Avenue in Granite City. That's when a man opened fire, shooting one of the officers in the arm. That officer is now recovering at home with his family, but the suspect is still out there. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski spoke with the chief of police just 3 hours ago. And Laura, you have new information about the suspect's identity.
Yes, Mike and Ann, the Granite City police chief says the man they're looking for is named Donald Freeze. He's a convicted felon and they believe he could still be armed with a gun. Now, they don't believe there's a threat to the neighborhood where this all started, but they want people to know and be aware he could be anywhere in the St. Louis area. Granite City police say Tuesday night around 10 o'clock, they were called out to a home in the 2400 block of Delmar Avenue for a disturbance. 2 officers found this man, Donald Freeze, behind a home and tried to talk with him. Suddenly, the conversation took a turn.
It turned into a scuffle, and in the scuffle, one of our officers was shot in the arm. He received a through-and-through wound. It was non-life threatening, and that officer is now home and safe and recovering.
At least one of the officers shot back at Freeze, likely injuring him, but he took off running and got away.
I do want to point out the fact that the other officer that was on scene did a fantastic job covering his buddy. Not only did he cover the officer, but he also applied a tourniquet.
Chief Nick Novasic says Freeze is a convicted felon and has previously been charged with second-degree murder, yet he was out on the streets. He is now facing 5 charges for this incident.
Even though he's on parole, probation, whatever, he's not going to adhere to the rules because that's not the way he's structured. That's not the way he thinks.
Illinois State Police are investigating the use of force, a standard procedure in officer-involved shootings. Granite City Mayor Mike Parkinson says he's glad the officers did not have to make the ultimate sacrifice.
They handle things above board, and I can't wait for the public to see that, because we see so much these days of people making accusations against the police and laws that are being passed in the state of Illinois that, in my opinion, really put police at risk.
He says to his knowledge, an officer has not been shot in his town in decades.
We just had a reduction in crime in the last year of 19%. That's a tribute to these guys that you saw stand in this room today. So, our citizens need to know that these are rare incidents.
If you see Donald Freeze, you're asked to call 911 right away, or if you know where he is, call police immediately. Reporting live in Granite City, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
2 men have been charged in connection to the shooting of a 13-year-old girl in Alton. Alvin Perry III and Rayshawn M. Colvin both face several charges, including attempted murder. On Saturday, a teenage girl was standing on her porch when she was shot. She was taken to the hospital where she is in critical condition. Police say she was not the intended target. Tomorrow, the community plans to gather for a prayer vigil. St. Louis County Police have identified a second teenager killed in a triple shooting. Tyree Williams died after being shot outside an Oakville apartment complex Monday afternoon. Diamond Palmer is live at the St. Louis County South Precinct with new details from his family. Diamond?
Well, Mike, the family of 16-year-old Tyree Williams says he loved to play video games and even played several sports, including basketball and football. The family also tells me he was best friends with the other victim, Colin Courtwright. Now, 19-year-old Tyler Coleman and 18-year-old Zachary Howe have been charged with the murder of Tyree Williams and Colin Courtwright. They say the suspects were in Oakville Monday selling marijuana cartridges to the teenagers near the Black Forest Apartments. Nashia Sessions says her cousin, Tyree Williams, was shot 3 times in the parking lot, twice in the legs and once in the head.
It don't make no sense over marijuana pens. It don't make. And then y'all was older than them. Y'all knew better.
Y'all go miss him. Like, that was so out of nowhere, but y'all go miss him. Like, he the least of my, like, out of all the cousins, he like the one I least expected to die. Like, He's so young.
Now this evening, Tyree's family does tell us that they are in communication with the family of the third victim, who says that he underwent surgery and was shot in the stomach. That family says at this time they do not want to release his name. Reporting live here at the South County Precinct, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Developments tonight in the ongoing efforts for justice for victims of radioactive contamination in our area. Right now, a local group of advocates is in Washington, D.C. demanding financial support. Justina Cornell spoke to the group as they fight for compensation.
Literally got up at 3 o'clock this morning, Justina.
Yes.
And we haven't stopped yet.
They say the third time is a charm. St. Louis advocates hope that's the case this time around.
Their advocacy is so powerful, it changes minds, and to have them coming back to Capitol Hill, this will be their third trip.
Advocates including Just Moms STL and some state legislators have boots on the ground right now in Washington, D.C. They're working to get the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, known as RECA, attached to a bill. If passed, it would compensate radioactive waste victims.
Educating and pleading for, help from, the government's radioactive waste legacy that's impacted this entire nation.
As a two-time cancer survivor, Missouri State Representative Chantel Nixon Clark said this is personal.
This is very important to me, knowing that North County, where I reside all of my life, has played an intricate part of being exposed to this radioactive waste.
And that's not the only support victims may be getting.
On Monday, we learned Missouri Governor Mike Parson requested additional funding to the 2024 budget to help the Missouri Department of Natural Resources investigate radioactive sites.
We're thankful that the governor is paying attention to the issues. We have to know more about this program, what it does, who can apply for it. Is this for sites that are already contaminated? Is this for sites that we suspect could be? Is it for homeowners?
The budget would allow the department to oversee investigations across the state, but it doesn't specify when, where, or how that would happen. What advocates do know is that there is some hope.
I'm looking at any piece of legislation that I think can make it through the House and the Senate and forcing a vote on that to put nuclear compensation on there.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The group will be joining other advocates from across the country tomorrow at a news conference in Washington, D.C. Their goal is to raise awareness about the federal compensation bill since it expires this June.
And Illinois congressional races heating up. Right now, Congressman Mike Bost is in Clinton County hoping to energize his base in that area. Political editor Mark Maxwell joins us live from Albers, Illinois. Mark.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. This race is coming up before you know it. Illinois Republicans vote in less than 6 weeks in a race that will likely determine the outcome of who will represent Southern Illinois in Congress. Incumbent Mike Bost is rallying his supporters tonight with 2 Texas Republicans in Congress. One of them, Ronnie Jackson, former President Donald Trump's doctor. That's inside. Outside, there are yard signs with Bost's name appearing next to Trump's. Then in here again, he's campaigning against the Biden administration and their policies on immigration. During an interview with us, the congressman defended the House Republicans' failed vote this week to try and impeach the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Has he committed a high crime or misdemeanor?
He has committed lies. He has not carried out the orders that are law. The laws are very clear in this United States about what is illegal immigration. And he has encouraged illegal immigration.
So you think he should resign?
I think he should resign.
But,
I do.
But impeachment is a different act.
But this impeachment, and the reason why I support the impeachment is very simple. He has followed, he has chose not to obey the laws of this nation in a power position that is supposed to obey the laws of the nation. And then he's lied to Congress about it.
His challenger, Darren Bailey, just announced that he'll be bringing Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz to Southern Illinois to rally with him 2 days after Valentine's Day, just a few days away here. Bost and Gaetz have clashed publicly over the gavel and who controls the House of Representatives. Bost said he wished Gaetz wouldn't come here, but sort of brushed him off as an attention seeker, more interested in popularity than policy. Live in Albers, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
He went to jail more than 30 years ago for murder. Now he could walk free. Why the circuit attorney wants to vacate Christopher Dunn's conviction.
We saw a lot of clouds rolling over St. Louis today, but it's mostly high clouds, not the kind that produce rain. Will we see rain in the next few days? Minimal chances. We'll show you when.